I speak the truth when I step in a room. Don't need an excuse. Know how I do, yeah. I be dropping gems, gem dropping gems, gem dropping. I speak the truth when I step in a room. Don't need an excuse. Know how I do, yeah. I be dropping gems, gem dropping gems, gem dropping with Caleb and Delon.
All right, welcome to the Gem Dropping Podcast, where it's our platform, our opinion, but your problem, but you're going to get this truth. Today, we have a very important guest with us today by the name of Angela Haywood.
Yes, hello.
What's happening?
What's up?
So, first thing first, how you doing? How's life?
I am doing good. Life is good.
Mm-hmm.
I really can't complain even if I wanted to.
That's good.
How are you?
I'm doing well. What? How you gonna ask me the questions? What's going on here? How are you?
It's natural. I don't know. I really do care though, like how people are doing.
That's good.
I always, if someone asks me, they took their time to ask me. So, anyways.
So tell us your upbringing, your childhood, everything.
Ooh.
Just a little bit.
Like who I am.
Who you are.
Where are you from? Are you originally from Kansas City?
Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay.
Yes, so South Kansas City. My family, they're from the inner city.
Mm-hmm.
My dad and my mom, they both went to, my dad went to Lincoln, and then my mom went to Central. And so, they're from out, out this way in the inner city for real.
So you're a little hood?
I'm not. No. So that's my family.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually moved to South Kansas City. So I'm from like the Ruskin area. I grew up during all their schools. So I went to elementary, middle, and high school out that way. But I am a baby of 5.
Okay. Dang. I didn't know that.
Yes.
How many brothers and sisters? Well,
so I have 1 brother, and then I have 3 older sisters.
That's
okay. It's crazy because they're 10 years older than me and my brother. And so
that's very similar to my family dynamics.
Yeah. So really I have like 4 sets of moms.
Okay.
That's you know what I mean? Like if you think if they help raise
yeah.
They were off to work. They're like, oh, you're with your sisters. Like, it, and that's just kind of how it was. And so as we got older, it's like their advice, their wisdom. It's like, you go to your sisters and then, your parents or whatever. But that's kind of how that is. But
did you hit some college?
I had a little bit of college.
Okay.
I went to Longview Community College.
Same here, Cal.
Yeah.
Same here, Cal.
And I figured I wanted to be a nurse. I was like, I just want to take care of people.
Mm-hmm.
So I did this whole CNA thing, and I actually started working at like St. Luke's.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was just like, this ain't for me. Like I can't do this. It was to be honest, the physicians. It's something about like
I've heard that before.
Yeah.
And I'm like very like bedside manner, like personable. So I wanted to get in there and I like spend the whole entire time like, okay, tell me how you're feeling, and why. And like, I wanted to know the family. And they're like, but I get it, it's a business at the end of the day, but also, you kind of have to have a balance.
Yeah.
And at the time, it was like, they were kind of just like all over the place. And so they were contracted and it wasn't like a group, like if that makes sense. And so like they ran off of like how they wanted to run. And I just didn't like it. It was a lot of mess. And that's just not how I roll or operated. I just wanted to really just take care of people.
That's good though.
Yeah.
And so I still have that in me though, to believe it or not. And then after that, I kind of just did my own little thing. And actually real estate found me. And so now I'm a real estate agent.
How did that happen?
So I worked for a development company. And one of the leasing agents, she was just like, "Hey, do you want to help me?" And I was like, "Yeah, girl." So she was like, "Well, we'll send you to school, and then you can, help me with doing leasing." And it was commercial leasing, and so I just kind of just went to school, got my license, and took off from there.
And they paid for it, though?
Yeah.
Dang.
I know that's right.
I'm just blessed. God just, he just places things, and if I'm obedient, it just rolls out.
And speak on that.
I love that.
And speak on that.
So I truly wholeheartedly believe that if you are obedient to God's word, his promises are true. His promises, what he promised us is just going to happen naturally. It's a given. This is, what he promised us, just do right by him because he is our Lord and Savior, and he'll take care of every need. And
I heard, okay, well, speaking of taking care of every need, and I'll let you kind of go down memory lane here in a little bit. But inquiring minds want to know, are you single? Are you married? Do you have children, anything like that?
So that's a loaded question.
Okay. All right.
No. So I am dating.
Okay.
I'm not married, so technically I'm single. But I am dating.
I got you. Okay.
However, I am a mother. My daughter, she passed this year, March 15th, liver cancer. And so, still a mom.
Yes, you are.
Whatever. And so, that's just, I think that's all you asked.
So,
that's, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Especially even if I'm from afar, to see you like right now, bro, it's I have no words.
I appreciate that.
You know what I'm saying? I really don't have no words, but when you speak about faith, is that where you like really learned at that moment in your life where, you lost a daughter, where like, okay, God, I got to put my trust in you, not only to save, but also to give me strength.
Oh, for sure. So, when we were going through like the journey, so when we first found out that she was diagnosed, that's when my faith was just like, you got to be all in. You can't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and so he's like, you got to trust me with this, trust that what I'm doing is preparing you for your future. And so again, going through her journey, I always just spoke to her about her purpose and her, this journey is bigger than us.
So walk us through that a little bit. Take us to the beginning of when you found out, how it all happened. If you don't mind sharing with us.
I don't
know.
So this Lane, how old was she? Hold on, I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay.
I have to because
it's probably up there like, really?
Yes, it's so right. And if y'all know Anaya, she's definitely like, dang, you don't know my age, or you didn't know my age. But she just turned 11.
Okay.
Yes, she just turned 11.
Okay.
And I'm really big on birthdays. And so I'm like, we're going out of town. We're going to, because the theme was she wanted a boat. She wanted to rent a boat, and she, and I'm cool. So I'm like, we're going to Florida and we're going to rent a boat there, and I'm going to, whatever. And so it was just it was a fun experience, but she couldn't really enjoy it because she had like just so much pain and she wasn't eating. And I'm just like, wow, like what is going on? And she lost a lot of weight. And so I'm just like, no, something is happening. Like we really have to get her checked, blood work and everything like that. So we did all of that. And I'm kind of just like giving you like just a synopsis because it's drawn out from what I can remember, because man, it's so much, and sometimes my thoughts are like clouded. But anyway, so she couldn't eat, and she just wasn't like her full self. Like she was having a good time, but she couldn't really. So we came home, and school was starting because her birthday's in August. So school was starting, and took her to to get a checkup, like just a regular, checkup or whatever. And I'm like, no, I have to draw blood because we need to know what's going on. Something isn't right. So they did that.
And I'm proud of you for that.
Yeah.
Because they will run over it. They will skip through it. If you don't tell them exactly what you need and what you want, it's probably going to get missed, and they would just literally.
Yes. So it was my sister, my mama, like nobody was playing about this child.
Right.
And so yes, my sister, my mom, they're like, no, today, not the next time, today.
Yeah.
So they got it done. And I was actually starting a new job, like property management was like my biggest like career, like on the ladder wise and everything. So I'm all excited. We were celebrating that. And so speeding it up, they told us, because her numbers were just off the charts, and the labs, the reports, the scans and everything came back, and they were just like, yes, she has cancer and it spread, and it was first it started in her liver, then it went to her lungs, and so once it travels, it becomes stage 4. And so as a child, though, you're really resilient, and so I mean, she was. That girl, she was a fighter. Like things that getting her poured and doing the biopsy and stuff, like they had to cut and everything.
So tell me this. So I mean, as a mother, as a parent, what are the emotions that you're going through when you first hear the news like that? When you first, walk us through that.
My heart dropped to my toes. Like it was like, she got what?
Right.
And it was like, oh yeah, it's cancer. It's stage 4. And so hearing that, you're like, well,
start out like.
Yeah, starting out like not stage 1 or 2.
Yeah,
straight to stage 4.
4. So my heart went to my toes. But looking at her, in my mind, I'm like wanted to ball up. And I wanted to, get in fetal position and in my room and lock myself, to deal with it that way. But looking at her, I don't know, something, I can't say I don't know. God and the Holy Spirit just came over me for sure, and carried me along the way. But, picked me up, and I just felt like out-of-body experience, like something was just like, you got this. And so looking at her, it's like, straighten up. Right. You're going to be all right, and she is too. And so what I told her when we first found out, the doctors and everything, and, just kind of telling us how it was going to go and how aggressive the chemo was going to be, I just looked at her and I said, hey, we're going to have this moment. We're going to cry. We're going to hug. We're going to, feel. Yeah. And then I said, but after today, I said, we got to put our big girl pants on. And I, just always just told her, like, just bringing her up, whatever. And I was just like, I said, what do I always say about crying over spilled milk? And she's like, there's nothing we can do. Like, it's out of our control. We can only control what we can. Right. I said, absolutely. So I said, we're going to show up. And we gonna, put our best foot forward. We gonna come dressed, and because when you dress good, you feel good.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so that's what we did. I'm like, no. She wanted to wear pajamas. I said, when we come back home, you can wear pajamas. When we go out, let's get dressed. We have to, put our best foot forward so that the outcome can be, good or whatever. And so she did that, and the nurses and doctors, they were just like, wow, you were such an amazing kid, and just all of this stuff. But I always told her too, like, you have to be your own advocate. And I said, I'm not gonna always be here, so you have to know what is good for you, your medicine.
Right.
Yeah. She went in her appointments and was like, I take this, that, and these are
there we go.
And big words.
Big words.
Yes.
And they just like, what? Just like, I need a 1.5 needle in my port. Don't give me a 2. She was like, because you'll hurt me.
That's crazy.
And sometimes she has like this soft voice. And I will always say, speak up. We can't hear you. Be strong. Be confident. Yeah. And so, man.
Well, I tell you what, I commend you. I have 15. My son just turned 15, and he knows how involved, and I am, and my kids, my daughter, and stuff, and everything. And so I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
But on the outside looking in, for like family members, friends, people that want to show you support, what's the best best advice can you give to someone to help support you through a transition like that?
Because I know
that's difficult because I can't
You took
relate.
my red question.
Yeah,
you scandalous, bro. Okay, but no, like 1,000,000%, because it's when you hear news like that, what can a person that's not you say to you to uplift you when you already have that news, or say we're on the back end of the story and everything's said and done and they're trying to encourage you? What can you say to a person like that? If that was you and it happened, God forbid, if it happens to somebody you know, tell the people, how can you support them?
Just be you. Like whatever friendship that you already have, just be that person. Like, don't, because sometimes for me, it was overwhelming. It's and Anaya, like if it was like too much, like if they, can I come over? Can I come over? And that's not like how it normally was. And so I just like, for me, a natural, relationship, and how it always was, treat me just how you've always treated me. And so,
tell me this, what do you feel like you could have received more of during that moment? Did you feel like you had enough love? Feel like you had enough support?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My family, friends, even like associates, because I feel like everybody's my friend.
That's
I'm
good.
sorry, I really do, y'all.
That's
like,
a good charisma to have.
Yes, and so, but my friends are like, they're not your friends. But to me, everyone is my friend. Like, I really feel that way, and I have love for a lot of people. And so, but anyways, the support was there. Like, and I don't know. Everyone says it's because of who I am. And I believe that. I truly do. But I also believe, like she was just an amazing kid. So to see and to even witness, like, it being in her presence, like, you could feel like, wow, it's something special about you. She just spoke, like, and was very articulate, and she had the sass, but she was also like so sweet and stuff. So a lot of people were drawn to her. Like, I had to tell my boyfriend, you can't meet her right away. And he's like, what? He did not understand it. And I'm like, because when you meet her, like, you're going to fall in love with her. Like, and what if it doesn't work out? Like, I can't, I can't have that. Like, no, not for her or for you. And so for the longest, he could not understand it until it was after she passed. He was like, I never understood, like, what you meant by that. And he was like, but the impact that this little girl had over my life, like, I can tell you, like, you were right. Like, I fell in love with this little girl. Dang. And like, but that's like everybody she meets. And I'm like, I'm not trying to, boast or anything. Like, no.
But she's
that girl. Oh, she was that girl.
Yeah.
She was that girl. So,
and not to harp on this subject too much, how is now your healing process? Now that, this of course, tragic happened, how is your healing process now to where it's like, okay, I got an angel. Yeah. So now what's next for me? Yeah. What is next for you?
Ooh, I'm figuring it out.
Yeah.
And I love it because, and I like to say, I take it, some people say take it a day at a time. I say take it a moment at a time, because it's like literally moment by moment. But I'm figuring it out. Like, I had Anaya when I was 18, so I was a baby, literally. And I had a baby. And so she grew up with me. And so I didn't know who I was, and I figured it out, like, with her. So I always had a dependent. Yeah. And so now I don't have anyone. It's just me. And so it's just like, I'm figuring that out, and, whatever I want to do, I'm like, do it. So my perspective is different too about life. Like, I mean, living life, like, to live. But I also said too, like, she lived to live. Like, she's still living. And so not in the physical, you know, it was her spirit and everything. And so I'm just allowing that to carry me on through. But the healing process has been great for me. I gave myself the ability to feel every emotion. And I have friends in the support system, and I have a special group of friends that we call each other the day twos, because you know how you have your day ones, and then you know, just going through the journey of finding God for yourself and then having a relationship. You know, you kind of need those people who are on the same journey with you. 1,000,000%. And those are that set of girls for me. And so like just having those people like just support me and like praying for me and like just keeping, you know, holding me accountable to my goals and like, you know, and just life and, you know, whatever. They have my back or whatever, but just figuring it out like, okay, I even went back to work and I said I wasn't going to do corporate, but I went back to nursing too.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm an assistant in a surgery center.
Damn.
It's crazy. It's like full circle.
So what do you want to achieve? Well, not achieve, but your next goal in 5 years. What does that look like before we go to break?
I have not thought about that.
So she's living life.
You live in life, and I get it. So let's just say if you could do anything in life, now that you know I have to live.
Yes.
What is that?
So I'm already traveling, so I can't say that. I do want to get back into property management. I love that. And so I want to have my own company, property management company. So I want to, of course, own property, and I want to manage. I want to take, you know how like the Class A commercial properties, how I mean, from the landscaping to the building and the team is there, one call away. You know, I want to bring that on the scale of homes. So I want, you know, like if something breaks in your home, you know, property management, we're there to fix it. I don't want to be, you know, have no slumlords or anything. I want to change the narrative. So I want to bring, you know, Class A, like commercial property management to like residential.
Dang.
Yeah.
That'd be huge.
All right. So in this part of the section of the interview, we're going to dive into some, not so controversial relationship questions, but just your opinion, you know, about the dating world. So as everybody knows, Kansas City gotten a very poor reputation for dating. What would you think?
Shay, what's that? What's that, Shay, back there?
What'd you say?
Yeah, not too many stars on the board for KC in regards to dating across the board. Would you say the same thing?
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think it is? What do you think the issue with dating in Kansas City is, in your opinion? No right or wrong answer.
I just feel like that we have gotten away from like courting and like actually dating to marry. Or being like open and honest about, you know, what they want. But also, even though if someone says like, you know, I don't want nothing, I just doing my own thing, I'm trying to figure life out or whatever. Like, what does that mean? You know, and so like.
It's a familiar term.
Yes, you know, and so it's like, I understand like, you know, going after your career and trying to figure out, you know, because finances are a big part of it. And so, like, I got to get my money right. You know, I got to get my money up to provide and take care of you and, you know, the family, you know, whatever. I get that.
Well, let's dive into that, Caleb. Yeah. So what does a man mean when he say he's still figuring out? Just in general, what pops into your mind?
If he's still figuring it out?
Yeah. I mean, you know what? I hear women saying that too, but
he's not ready.
He's not ready. Yeah.
It's straight to the point.
He's not ready for what?
He's not ready to date. So what are you here for? Yeah. No offense.
Yes.
But if a man is telling you, basically, say the question one more time.
If a man says he's still trying to figure it out, what is he saying?
He's not ready. So, and if you're still trying to figure it out, means I need more time. More time for what?
Well, go ahead, my bad.
He's not ready, and I'm not saying it as a bad thing where he could say, bro, I'm just not ready. I just want to live. You know what I'm saying? A little bit. I want to make sure, everything is good before I jump in a relationship. It could be past traumas. It could be things there where he's not mentally stable because of a past relationship.
Yeah.
But it also, into terms, it means that you're not ready. So if you're not ready and you're not ready to commit to a relationship, there's no need for me to be there in that moment of I'm not ready, because I'm basically telling you I'm not ready for you.
Right.
Let's put the
to commit to you.
Exactly. So how long will it take for you to commit to a person who's not ready to commit?
See, this is great. Because
good dialogue.
I'm just being honest.
Good dialogue.
It's definitely good, but the thing is, it's like, why not say that? Like a lot of men. So this is why the dating scene is the 0 stars.
Okay.
Because
0 stars.
we didn't get no stars on the board. She said 0 stars.
Right, because I feel like that's what it is.
Yeah.
And I understand, sometimes you just want to be free and, have your cake. Whatever it is, whatever floats your boat. But just be honest and say that, and not, string someone along.
I'd say this all the time. Why tell a lie when the truth would do? And honestly,
that was good.
You know what I mean? Why tell a lie when the truth would do? Honestly, I think it's more masculine to be truthful and honest, because children lie. Right? Why do children lie? They lie because they're afraid of the consequences, right? Yeah. If you call yourself a man, right? Be honest about what you want. Don't promote monogamy if you have no intentions on being monogamous. Yes. You know what I'm saying? And if whatever your intentions are, you probably don't realize how far the truth will get you. There are some women that are still trying to figure it out too.
Yeah.
And if you just be straight up and honest, there's no backlash that can come back to you and say, okay, hey, why'd you draw me in emotionally and lead me on here and tell me something else that you had no intentions on doing? So, hey, it's more masculine, fellas, to be more honest and upfront about what you want to do.
So how would you go about, would you say, and I'm not saying you have everything together, but you have, let's just say, a decent life. Let's just say you're successful. How would a successful woman approach somebody like that? Say you're interested in somebody, but he doesn't have it figured out. How do you approach him in that situation, to where, do you feel like you don't have to have it all together? Or how? Because your table is already set. You're good without being, how can I say it? Like bringing out your masculinity, like I have all of this.
So what's the setting? Are you saying that she's coming in, she sees a gentleman that she's interested in, and she's approaching him like, okay.
Or he approaches you, but you show interest in him.
My question would be, do you have a plan? Like, I want to know your plan. Like, let's talk this out, because I'm not opposed to, because like you said, not everyone has it figured out, because like for me, I was just winging it for a moment. I'm like, I don't know what I want to do. And then real estate just fell in my lap. So I wasn't always, quote unquote, successful in my career. I was figuring it out or whatever. But I had a head on my shoulders, but it's those, like, do you know how to, still bring in money? Are you a hustler? Like, are you going to be able to provide? Even so, like, what I need to know, your strategic plan. Like, do you have a plan? And if you don't, then do you have steps?
Well, tell me this. Like, so at what age does a man will potential get a man so far? So meaning, a lot of times, and I see a lot of women and women do give a man grace in this area, where if you do have a plan or you seem like you have somewhat potential, at what age should a man have it figured out where potential will no longer get him in the front door with the woman? So for example, you have a
get
man,
accepted.
You know what I mean? Right. He's like, okay, look, I'm not quite there, but I got a plan, but I'm 45. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still trying to get there. Or, you know what I'm saying? So at what age does that potential
So I would say honestly 30.
Okay.
I'll say 30. And I'll say that because 20s, I just really feel like, you know, it's still like your college years. Yeah. If that's your route, you kind of
filling it out, figuring it out.
You know, kids, children, a family. You know, women. The time starts ticking after 30. You know, so, know, you become like geriatric and like you know right. That's the I don't know.
Yeah.
Area. And so it's kind of like, okay, well, what are we doing? You know, right. Whatever. And so I feel like 30 is kind of where it's like, you want to settle down and you want to, you know, like you probably know where you want to live and when you want to start your family, if that's your route or your career or anything like that. So I say 30 is a good age.
Okay. Yeah. So 30 is a good age. So, okay. Well, tell me this. So let's backtrack a little bit, and so I can I'm gonna replay what you just said to verify. So basically, you're saying the downfalls that you've seen in the dating world in Kansas City is deception, because men are not upfront about their intent, and they're not being intentional. They don't necessarily say, "Hey, I'm dating with a purpose," and then also got to have a plan, and they want you want honesty.
Oh, for sure.
Okay. And so it sounds like men are just not there. Seems like it's a lot of game playing that's going on here.
That word.
Is that game playing.
Joke.
Yeah.
No, for real. They we have on clown suits at this point, you know.
Oh, okay.
And so I mean, but that's that
keep going.
That's just, that's not everyone. I don't want to say like, But
that's the majority of the mystique that's going around in KC in regards to the dating field.
What I've read.
Okay. Okay,
well, so I think there's some truth to that.
Yeah, it is. Sure. But one thing I would say is you get to build a husband, right?
That's where I was.
You get to build a husband. What are your 3 things he needs to have? And it has to be in order.
It has to be in order.
It has to be in order.
Oh, that's a good
3 things. God-fearing is number 1.
Okay.
For me, I'm trying to think of like the best word. Because love is just so broad.
Yeah.
But romantic and knows how to, just show love,
affection.
Yes, that's a good word. So, shows affection. Emotional intelligence. So I believe it's called EQ, but
is that your 2?
So that's my 2. Okay, sorry. So my first one is God-fearing, and then the second one is the emotional intelligence. So being able to share their emotions and receive it, so we can have a conversation.
Okay,
that's in 1, right?
Okay, that's in 1. Okay. But so we still on 2.
Okay.
In that moment, is his secret safe with you?
Absolutely.
How important is that, or have you seen that to where a man's secret, where he opens up to you, and then next thing you know, you use it? I'm not saying you use it as fire when an argument comes up.
Yeah, see, that's a no-no. But I have seen that very often, and so it often than none. And so that's why it is important. Okay. And I will want my man, my future husband, to be vulnerable with me. And so your secret is safe with me, because it's I want you to be able to come to me happy, mad, sad, angry, whatever it is. It should be no limits to that, whatever. But, a safe place.
Okay.
Whatever.
So what's your 3rd?
My 3rd.
This is it. This is you building a husband. You said God-fearing. And you said EQ? Is that what
emotional intelligence. Yeah.
Okay, so
you gotta think about this.
Okay, so help me with this word. Because I wanna put it all together. But you know how like self-motivated, because we gotta get this paper. So I don't wanna waste it on just oh, he has to, you know, provide or whatever, because I'm going to come with it too, you know. But I also like to be the passenger princess. But, okay, so let's get back
That's
on track.
the third time we heard that.
What's
in this podcast.
What?
Passenger princess.
Oh,
You know what? Somebody
please
else
take
said
the
that.
wheel.
Bobby said that. Yeah, he
Yeah,
sure
like
did.
And Kiana.
Bobby?
Bobby.
That's a man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so
he's a
I think
comedian.
Comedian. Okay.
Bobby
I saw
Coleman.
him
Yeah.
at improv before. Funny guy. What was I gonna say? He said that he wants a passenger princess?
No, he said he treats his wife as
like a passenger princess.
Yeah.
Bobby, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know what I said. Motivated, self-motivated.
So was it providing was your third?
Yeah. But I wanted to be okay, so that falls in line.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. No, that's
that
it.
one
And you know what? And listen, you know, I
that
think
was hard.
I think it women have to feel comfortable. It's okay to say that you want a man who provides without it coming off as if, you know, you're gold digging or whatever the case may be. You know, listen.
That's what it is, because I wanted to be careful with my words.
No. I think it's very, very important. Like I said, man, like, you know, I say this often. I told Caleb here, and Caleb's has a very interesting story, which will, you know, kind of debunk what I'm saying a little bit or whatever. But when you think about handing your daughter over to somebody, right, you want to hand her over into good hands.
Of course.
You know, the lifestyle I'm wishing in the back of my mind for my daughter, I'm not thinking, okay, boom, I want to send her off to somebody and she can't put gas in her car, they don't have lights on, and you know what I'm saying, and they struggling. I don't want to push her off to a struggling life. So I want to give her to somebody that can actually take care of her, mold her, guide her, you know what I'm saying, take care of her and have her back, you know, in times of need. So no, I think it's completely okay with that. And I think that once men become accepting of that, then they can make better mates for women and understanding that that's an extension. That's not all you do, but it's an extension of how you love that woman as well. You know, so, how well you take care of her.
And you can move the plant from your head. What are your top three if you was to build a wife? Because I'm already married. So what are your top three to where a woman can hear your perspective?
Well, my top three is character, discipline, and loyalty.
Character. Speak on that.
You thought about this already?
Oh, yeah.
Because you came with it. You didn't even have to.
Oh, yeah.
I like that.
It's a conversation we have.
Why is character number one?
Well, character is number one, man, is because I want to know who you're going to be when you fight. You know what I mean? When we fight, you know what I'm saying? When we get into it, you know, a high character person ain't going to be trying to slash my tires, ain't going to try to drain my bank account on the way out, or try to, if we said at one point in time we love each other, I'm going to love you on the way out. And we may not disagree, we may disagree with each other and may not, you know, be seeing eye to eye about it, whatever. But if I love you, I'm not going for the jugular on the way out. That's high character, right? Discipline, you know, discipline is linked to just about everything. I know if you have a certain level of discipline, you're going to take care of home, you're going to be able to take care of kids, you're going to take care of your business, you know, probably career-wise, discipline of the body, you know what I'm saying, discipline of the mind. If another man comes in and tries to approach you, you got enough discipline to ward him off and say, hey, no, I'm taken, you know.
And that is important. Because not only, and probably, no offense, all the women here is take care of home, da-da-da-da. They ain't hear nothing else. All they heard you say was take care of home. We ain't know, da-da-da-da-da. But that's all, I love that you said all of that, to where we're not saying this is your job. We're just saying, can you do that? Or if a guy, because that is huge. If a guy approaches you and he's trying to get your number, if you fall into the trap of giving it to him, that goes to number three, which is loyalty, right? It all falls in line. A good husband or a good man will list those three things. So that's huge. Last thing, loyalty.
Loyalty is huge, I think, on every man's list. I think everything, I mean, our ego, all that stuff is drains back into our egos and loyalty, you know. So for me, you know, I want to know the woman that I'm with is my woman. You know what I'm saying? She's not sharing everything she got with the rest of the world, you know, because there has to be some incentive for me to make you my own and want to protect you and want to provide for you, because I know this is mine. I'm not going to put gas in his car. That's his car.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? This, you know what I'm saying? This is my wife. I want to protect her. So if everybody's driving that car, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, okay, so if I know the loyalty is here, this is my wife, you loyal to me, you know what I'm saying? That gives me motivation to protect, to provide, to, you know, give you everything that you need, you know.
Let me step in because without cutting you off, loyalty is so huge to a man that he would, if you show him genuine, and I'm not saying all men, I'm just saying a good man, a great father, if you show him loyalty, he will give you anything.
Yeah.
Facts.
He will give you anything, like literally. Facts. But the moment you break loyalty with a good man, it kind of puts a strain on it for the next woman. Because I can't trust, I put all of my eggs in one basket, and for you to break my loyalty, now I have trauma with the next person. I can't give you all of that because I trusted you. I put my all into you. And that's what I think a lot of dating issues is with Kansas City. A lot of men, no offense, have been scarred.
Yeah.
Kansas City is small. So if I didn't have a wife and I announced my girlfriend, everybody, next thing you know, you're like, this is my girlfriend. And then in the comments, you just see eyes. Like, nah, bro, I'm not. Like, I can't even announce it no more because it's.
That's true.
It's that person that jumped through so many relationships. And then if I trust you and you jump through so many relationships, you leave me all of that baggage. So you left me damaged and you left me damaged goods. Boy, you left all of your trash bags here. So my next relationship, I'm
what
gonna
did you say, Jim?
That boy over there preaching right now.
You pretty much that, and it's a cycle. Once you drop your bags on me, I can't handle it as a man because it hurts. Loyalty is huge. So what do? I'm just gonna play the field and I'm just gonna drop off my bags. Pretty much till I'm healed. That's why most people, they be like, oh, she's what do they call it? A backup plan or not a side chick, but what do they say when you break up with your girl and then the next person is a what?
Rebound.
A rebound.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all it is. Let me drop this off. I'm trying to create something with you, but I can't because there's so much drama and trash bags to unpack that I can't move on.
So I have a question. Because I mean, I can understand that, you know, carrying the baggage and everything like that. But do you feel though, before you get into like, and I know not you because you're married, but before you get into your next relationship, like what about therapy? Like going to therapy and like, you know what I mean? Like for yourself.
Absolutely.
To, you know, learn and have those tools, you know, for your next relationship. So that's why I say like, be ready, you know, like fully ready to commit before you even start dating. Because we don't, like, as a woman too, and women too, we don't want no baggage and like, we don't want to give, because it feels horrible. So I feel like those who are watching,
this is the important
you
part.
know, try therapy first and like healing first before you try another relationship, because again, like you are carrying those, even if you don't want to believe it, you are carrying something from that previous relationship.
And I'll say this to add on to that, because I mean, this is very powerful. We say we the gym dropping podcast, and this is a gym right here, but I've seen so many, you know, in the dating field, because I'm dating too, right? So many emotionally broken people, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, I'm dating women. So, you know, I'm just going to tell you this. If you're not willing to do the work, meaning the internal work, you don't deserve happiness, right? If you're not, nobody's going to wait for you to figure it out. And if you come into the next situation broken and incomplete, that person is not going to wait and take the time, and nor is it their responsibility to heal you. You know, it's only so much that person can do. And and everybody feels like they're entitled to happiness. Yeah. And they're not. And if you're not willing to do the work, you're not entitled to anything. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I can't just go into anywhere and snatch, into the store and just snatch and say I'm entitled to this because I'm hungry. No, you know what I'm saying? I'm no more entitled to love if I'm not willing to do the work. So if I'm not willing to go sit down and talk to this man or talk to this person and get this stuff off my chest and heal, I'm not entitled to that happiness. I have to earn it.
Yeah.
See, but I think that's boy, you said a lot. You said a lot. Look, I like it. You already know. But honestly, I think a lot of it comes back to how people deal with trauma, how people deal with pain. It also comes from their childhood of not being able, they don't know how.
Yeah.
Nor do they want to, because trauma is their comfortable place. You know what I'm saying? So we talked about this. If a person is grown up and all they see is trauma, they get used to it and they sit in it and they get comfortable in it. Yeah. So you can have a good relationship and next thing you know, you like, something feels off. It's because you haven't dealt with that and now you want to go back to that trauma. You want to go back to that room where you feel like you're healed, you're protected by this person. And then next thing you know, you just like, it's uncomfortable for me. Yeah. And some people just don't want to. I was the type of person, I felt like I didn't need therapy. It's 1,000,000% true. My whole masculinity was like, dog, I can fix myself. If it ain't God that's gonna fix me. And I used to use that as an excuse. God got me. You know what I'm saying? As much of a believer that I am, I used to use that as a cover up because I didn't want anybody to discover my past traumas. Why should you know? I'm hurting deep inside, but a therapist can bring that out. And it's like, I don't like this feeling. What if I don't like being whole? Because I'm too clean. What if I go to therapy and I don't even know who I am anymore because I unpacked all these things? There's a new me now. So some people actually don't know until you actually like point it out to them. But I tell people all the time, change is good. Yeah. It's good. Yeah. That's dope. But some people would rather just sit in that moment and sit in they sorrows and it's.
But I tell you what, man, you probably just helped a whole lot of people, man. As masculine as you are to say, hey, man, I came out and I was resistant against this thing and then you opened up to it, man. Yeah. I mean, and I've even been through therapy, man. I think everybody should do it at some point in their life because we all experience trauma, you know. But to bring it back around, I wanted to ask you a question. So we've all built our perfect men and women, right? So my question is to you is, so now that you've built that perfect man, what do you think his wants and desires are? What the man that you just built, what do you think he wants from his queen, his woman?
Ooh. Y'all really just throwing it at me on.
At the Gym Dropping Podcast.
I had a long day at work. Yeah. Put my thinking cap on.
Oh yeah, you're going to get this work today.
Wow. Honesty. And love. I think, yes, love. And maybe this is just me, but someone who is caring and can have just that nurturing, just whether it's through, I'm going to cook you a meal or you want to watch football and be, to yourself. I can be understanding, and that comes with like love. But
and I'll let you finish.
I have so many words.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. I want to explain the reason why I asked that question.
Okay.
And don't feel bad because a lot of people, it's hard for a lot of people, men and women, to answer that question. So we always have this tunnel vision where we're always thinking about what we want. Yes. But in order to prepare ourselves for the person we're looking for.
Because I wanted to separate myself so bad, but I'm like, forget it. You have to be me.
Yeah. I mean, it's true. That's just how we live life, right?
Yeah.
But
that's selfish. Is that selfish?
It's not selfish. It's just sometimes we have to look at that reflective image and we have to say, hey, okay, look, if this is the person I want, I'm just going to keep it a buck. Okay. That's why Kevin Samuels he had such a big following and stuff and everything is because what happened is he held up that mirror a lot of times. And if you want this type of person, you have to say, okay, well, boom, who do I have to be in order to obtain it? Then that forces us to think about what they want. Yeah. Because a lot of times we're thinking about what we want, we don't think about what the person we're capturing, what they want, what they're looking for. So I have to be what they're looking for if he's going to take me as his own or vice versa or whatever. So I want this type of woman, man, I better have my ducats up. Yeah. I better have my providing game strong. My providing game better be strong because I want this type of woman. Yeah. So I got to take care of business. I got to get on the grind. You know what I mean?
And was that a trick question?
No, it was not. Okay. It wasn't.
I think what women have to realize is, and I think they don't, is that a man would do anything if he chases you, if you let him chase you. And the reason I say that is if a man's not willing to chase you, or say he doesn't have a job, and he like, I need to get a job because I really want this girl. You know what I'm saying? If he's not willing to do those things and go the extra mile, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. Now, say your wife is right here. You already know this is your wife, but you don't have it all together, right? And y'all talk back and forth, and y'all have a conversation one day, and you was like, well, you know, I'm trying to just figure things out and everything like that. And then you come back a month later, you're still single, and you have that same conversation. And if it's the same story, you're not my person. Yeah. You're not my person. Because regardless of, this man probably doesn't even love you yet, but he sees a future with you. So I know I gotta, like you said, get on my horse and get to riding because I want this person. Yeah. And that's how you should think in a relationship. I want this person. First of all, you shouldn't be dating. You shouldn't claim a girl as your boyfriend or girlfriend if you don't see a future with them. What's the point? Yeah. A breakup, a broken heart, it's no point. Yeah. Facts, yeah. I agree. Know what I'm saying? I told my wife, I wanted to get to a point where I loved you so much in marriage that it's not even called love.
Oh, wow.
Boy, that's deep.
You know what I'm saying? like on some real stuff. Because it's different. Most people say, I love, boyfriend and girlfriend say, I love you. Yeah. Do you love me as much as I love my wife? It's a different kind of love. Yeah. Do I love you like I love my kids? It's a different kind of love. So love can be so many things, and it can, you know what I'm saying, have levels to love. Different where if I love you way beyond that, it should be called something else, right? So just like your kids, where you looked at your daughter, you was like, you ever looked at her? I just freaking love the out of you, but it's not another word for it. Yeah. It should be that. Yeah. And if it's not that, bro.
But it sounds like I got that Will and Jada love. They play with me, dog.
Nah,
boy, Will love Jada through anything.
Man, yeah. Don't even get me started.
But the better version of Will and Jada is what he was saying.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but it should be that. I want somebody, like you said, I'm preparing my daughter to be a wife. It sucks. Yeah. It sucks. Yeah. Because one day she would leave me. She would leave me. Beautiful. And I thought about this plenty of times where my daughter, she's golly, 12. 11 or 12, hold on. But dabbling in makeup and stuff like this. And I'm like, Kayla, no, you're too young. Yeah. I'm teaching you, it's levels to this. But at the same time, I can see it. I told her, you can't have boyfriend and, at school and there. And she abides by that. She listens to her daddy. There's going to come a point in time where I can't do anything. But
that's the scary part, ain't
it? Bro, I have to accept that I trained her up to be this. Yeah. Now it's time for me to let that go.
Yeah, and watch what you've taught her, like what you instilled in her just blossom. Because for my dad, I still love the mess out of my daddy. No one can ever take that away. Yeah. And so I still look at my dad. I feel it's the same, just in awe. When I see my dad, I still light up. I done had a kid and everything. Yeah. He came into, the room or whatever, the hospital room, and I'm just like, Dad! And that's just that, whatever. So still as a full adult, I'm still the same way. So I'm pretty sure your daughter is going to be the same exact way. I know you're like, oh, you're not going to be my baby when you're growing up and all that. But that love is, and it may even grow stronger.
And I know it will.
It's hard to fathom.
Yeah, it's already stuff where my son, he would tell me things he won't tell his mama. But my daughter, yes, my daughter will not tell, me and my daughter is like this. Yeah. But it's just something she can't tell me. She would go to mom and be like, and then mom would come to me like, oh, well, when she was this, she told me, I was like, what? First of all, I feel like me and my daughter Kayla, we're like this. Yeah. She called me her best friend. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But you go to your mama?
Yeah. But what about the whole, I don't want to disappoint or like make him feel, like,
I get it. I 1,000,000%
like,
get
my
it.
dad cannot know, know, certain things or whatever. Whereas my mom, and then my mom can know with me and my dad. She can't know this my best friend.
And I understand. I understand. I love that my wife and my daughter has that type of relationship.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't, you need to, no. I find it like amazing to be like, bro, we gotten to a point, and I speak for every man out there, you should get to a point where you get to come home to your own little family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When I knock on the door and the kids running downstairs, Daddy, like,
oh, that's sweet.
Think about that. Like, think about that. That's what you want.
Yeah.
You don't want to get in a relationship and then it's just
dull.
You know what I'm saying? I can't create something special with this person if I don't intend, or if I don't see marriage with this person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Well, talk about how impactful your father was in regards to, just the way you see the world, relationship wise. You feel like your dad prepared you, for the world. How impactful was that, your relationship with your father?
Oh man, very impactful. My dad, he was literally everything. Like, growing up, I was in a lot of sports. Like, I did a lot. Cheer, track, golf, like dance. It was a lot. Yeah. And he was there. Like, he showed up. Sporting events, it didn't matter. We travel, he's driving. If I needed something fixed, still to this day, it's pouring down raining. My dad, he will be the first one at the door with an umbrella. Like, and that's just like kind of just how it was. Even my friends like would come over, and this was so important to me. They called him dad. Like, has dad's at home, but like, that's dad. Like, and how he loved my mom, how he loves my mom, and then the girls just in general. Like, he just takes care of us. Anything we need, it's a call him. I'm there. I'll be there. And he kept his word. And so that was a thing for me, was my dad always taught me, like, word is bond. And so if he said it, he's going to do it. And if he can't do it, he's going to communicate, this is why.
Right.
And so that's important. That was important to me.
So do you find a piece of, is it true that a woman, when she finds a husband, she looks for a piece of her dad?
I was about to go there, brother. Good question.
I really want to say no, but I would be lying, because now I'm dating and I'm just like, wow. So I do like find similarities, but it's kind of like an unconscious, like, I don't even think about it. So it's like my subconscious or something. I don't know. And so it's like, wow, this is crazy. Like, and then like little things that they do, I'm just like, wow. This is like my dad.
And I, you know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna say, I think you're going to be an amazing wife one day because of
Thank you.
I can, I can just sense the aura. I mean, you can kind of tell a good catch, when you're around it. You got a good aura, you got a soft-spoken aura, and different things of that nature.
You think so?
That's why I was asking about how much, of an impact that your father had on that. And and not to say that there aren't good catches out there that didn't have their fathers around, but I think a presence of a father helps better prepare. Like he said, he is raising his daughter to be a wife one day. You know what I mean? And I think that's what generally a lot of fathers do, subconsciously or consciously, because they care so much for their daughters, and they're the overkeepers and the first representation of what a man looks like in their daughter's life. So that's probably why you just kind of seeing these similarities, because that's one thing I found out through therapy, was I was picking women similar to my mother. You know what I mean? And my mother has a lot of strength. She's man, my mom's a bulldog. But that's where I get a lot of, my, bulldogish behavior is from my mom. But that doesn't mix well with me with a mate. You know what I mean? So I realized, okay, boom, I've got to pick differently. Because the first representation I saw of a woman was my mom.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going after bulldogs. You know what I'm saying?
2 bulldogs.
You know what I'm
boy,
saying? Yeah. 2 bulldogs ain't gonna mess. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, so I can relate to what it is that you're saying there or whatnot.
So we finna go ahead and go to the red question. It's only one red question, by the way, and we're gonna get out of here. All right, so we back. This is the session where we go red and we ask you one question that's pretty tough, but I don't think I'm gonna go pretty tough on you.
Okay.
I do want to ask the amount of support Kansas City has gave you, like in the moment where you was pretty much in a season of, you know, with your daughter and everything. How important was that, and did you see it?
Kansas City, it was very important, and I am honored to even receive it, for one, and for two, the love that you guys still show me to this day. Like, there is nothing that I can do to repay you guys, and I'm looking directly at you because I truly mean it. But to answer, so important, Caleb. Like, to the point where I am so whole that I can just be myself and give it too. So I can be that support that other people are giving me. Because you know how, like, they say, like, oh, you can't pour from an empty glass? I'm full because of the love, you know, and the support and the prayers. And, you know, anywhere I go, you know, even if I'm sharing my story to a stranger, like, they're like, how can you do that? Like, how do you have that strength? And of course it's God, you know, always. But also I always mention the support that I have, you know, whatever. And that's from everybody, and the love that I'm able to give it back because I have so much of it. But it's overwhelming, but a good overwhelming, you know.
So, and last thing, what was, and it's not in the order or anything, what was one thing that, and I know you had multiple stories, but if you can just pick out one real fast, so nobody won't be like, well, what about my story? But if whatever comes to mind first, what was one thing where you was just like, wow, you did that for us? Where somebody in Kansas City, probably somebody you didn't know, or just Kansas City in general, to where you was just like, dang, bro.
It's a lot.
And it can be an individual person or anything. What was something that?
It is a lot. One of my friends, we were in Houston at the time. So we went to Houston for stem cell treatment. It was a treatment that they only did in certain states. And so the closest one to us was Houston. So we had to go to Houston, and we had to literally drop everything, pack, like they gave us maybe a week notice, pack up what we could, you know, go to Houston, didn't know nobody, whatever. So my friend, her name is Kathy, she's like, hey, what's your email? And I'm like, huh? And she sent us a gift card to this restaurant and to like do like this rooftop, to see a movie on the rooftop. When I say, like, this made my day, but also, like, more importantly, Anaya's day. Like, for one, we got to get out of the house in the hospital and do something fun. And she reached out. She didn't say, like, hey, do you need anything? It was, I'm going to do it. And a lot of people that, you know, did just that. Like, a lot of people, they didn't ask no questions, nothing. It was just like, here. So she just sent it to my email, and, you know, that was just, and she constantly was just like, my thing was, I want her spirit to be high. And so she contributed to that without me even saying anything. So that will always just stick with me, like, for forever, you know. And it was just like, hey, do something fun. And it was just for her, like, something fun, like, you know, because she had to grow up so fast. And so that just reminded her, like, I'm still a kid, I'm gonna have fun.
So if you can, before we get out of here, if you can tell anybody or to the world, what's one thing that you would leave them with? It can be any quote, it can be anything, or it could be something you live by.
No matter what, spread love. So showing grace, even when you feel like you don't have it, still do it anyway. Because you never know what someone else is going through. And just a simple smile, that's spreading love. So
yeah.
I feel like it's so important.
And Delon, you got anything to say?
Man, continue to spread love, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna double down on that. That's beautiful. You know, and I think what resonated with me the most, she said, even when you feel like you don't have it, and that's important. That's that. I was going to talk about this earlier, but emotional maturity over emotional intelligence. You know, a lot of times when those bundle of emotions come up when somebody's, be wronged you or done something to you, you have the emotional maturity to, calm all that down and extend the grace that you need to extend that person. I think that's beautiful.
Okay. And my last thing will be, I think with everything being so high in the world, gas high, lights high, rent high, mortgage high, everything is high. I feel like a lot of people are spiritually drained because they probably feel like God ain't doing enough. But I wanted to tell you real quick is that you got to keep pushing.
Yeah.
You got to keep going. You got to keep your faith in God, and He will provide a way, regardless of what government system we have. He will make a way. So do that. Keep pushing. Don't let up. Don't stay firm. So that's it.
All right, Gym Dropping Podcast. We out.
Peace.